How is an entrepreneur different than a manager? Oh my gosh, you couldn't even believe it. I have to just share my favorite reality show that I've thought of for years, but it wouldn't really work out, but it'd be kind of fun to see, is To This Point. Can you imagine a whole bunch of executives, managers, trading places with entrepreneurs that are amazingly successful? Who's going to win? The executive who's paid no matter what they do, or the entrepreneur who knows how to really run companies? I guarantee you the executives would totally tear down the entrepreneur's company, and the entrepreneur will have to come back and save it. The entrepreneur, on the other hand, would actually blow out that job. So if you're an executive and a manager, I probably just offended you. I know I'm right. Why? Because I've worked with hundreds of thousands of people on this conversation. And I don't know how many people join our community and they think I'm their new boss. It's like, no, I'm your new mentor and guide. You are going to start leading your life. So entrepreneurs are extremely motivated, right? We're motivated by service of other people. We want to help people. Why am I motivated? Because I want to make more millionaires than any other woman, man has ever done. And we know how to do it. And so I've been given this gift of seeing money and patterns of money. It's not difficult. It's what my gift is. And I brought it to the forefront. Managing is just telling people what to do in a different way, right? There's a job description. There's roles. It's very different. Being an entrepreneur is driving an initiative. It's driving the cash flow. See, being a manager, you're paid no matter what. You can manage good, you can manage bad. Your employees might hate you. Entrepreneurs are very different. We might have managers working for us, but usually we run more as a team environment. So let's talk about three specific things in these distinctions. Just the strategic orientation, the mindset of an entrepreneur and manager could not be more different. Number two, just resource handling, cash flow handling, commitments to getting done, ROIs, our KPIs, all of that is very different because the entrepreneur, in this world, you eat what you kill, meaning if you don't make any money, you're going to go broke. You're going to be one of those small companies that go into bankruptcy or just close the doors. So you have to become a great leader, not a manager, a leader as an entrepreneur. And then what are the biggest mistakes I see entrepreneurs making it all the time is because they can't shift from that employee manager mindset or behavior into being an entrepreneur and driving cash. One of the greatest entrepreneurial things I teach is how to have a revenue producing day. Because if you've got to get up all day, you can be the best performer. Michael Gerber wrote about it perfectly in the E-Myth. Just because you're the best pie maker doesn't mean you're going to run the best pie store. The entrepreneur run the pie store. You can just make good pies. So that makes you the employee and the owner of the pie shop, the entrepreneur. So what's the mindset that you get up with? Well, it's revenue. You've got to drive revenue. Well, where does money come from? Other people, other contracts. So where's your marketing that's going to produce a lead, the sales process that's going to create the sale, and then the cash flow. So marketing, sales, and cash flow are the key skills that an entrepreneur has to learn. Managers you can manage marketing, you can manage sales, you can manage accounting, but are you the one that has to be responsible for paying all the bills? So a lot of people don't become entrepreneurs because they don't want the responsibility of it. You also don't get the freedom or the unlimited cash flow that comes with great growth. Managers usually have a lot of structure. They produce the guidelines, they produce SOPs. So they're very valuable and they're highly necessary. So don't hear that I'm not saying don't be a manager, but some of you are more employee-centric and you're a better manager than an entrepreneur. So the reason our teams work so well together is I am the consummate entrepreneur. I'm the one that drives ideas. Their ideas can come and then we just expand their ideas. But a lot of people want a very, tighter box. They want to do 2 or 3 things during the day and just feel great about management of those tasks or those people. Entrepreneurs drive revenue. Very different on mindset, different just orientation to what do you do when you get up every day. So number 2, how do you handle resources and commitments? So again, the entrepreneur is always looking at ROI. They're looking at the commitments. They're looking at, do I buy the real estate? Do I rent the real estate? What is the most flexible and adaptive moves to keep themselves very pliable? You got to be moving in different directions. You can't just be stuck and you can't sit on an SOP and not have variable problem solving skills. Entrepreneurs have huge problem solving skills, especially in an environment like now with this recession on. You've got to have so much creativity to navigate around just the changing economy, the changing environment. The workforce since COVID is a completely different animal. So the more entrepreneur you are, the more successful we see people being. The tighter and squarer you are about having to live in a very specific box in an environment that's this volatile gets rough. So the other thing entrepreneurs do is they juggle a lot of different opportunities and different things at one time. The thing I see with great entrepreneurs is they might need to drop a ball here and there. So the difference between great entrepreneurs and managers is managers don't want to drop a ball or they'll drop them all. Entrepreneurs drop the right ball that affects or does not affect the ROI. So you get more sequentially sophisticated in your decision making of what's the most important thing now to move your day forward to keep you in cash flow and revenue. It's a muscle that you got to grow. You all have entrepreneurial muscles because prior to 1933, there was no such thing as an employee or a manager. It all started then. So you all have it. It's just, a lot of you, I say, really atrophied entrepreneurial muscles. You just don't know how to use them. Hence why mentoring to be an entrepreneur or to be a millionaire is critical. I've been mentored in my millionaire status since I was 17 years old. I've had mentors and guides. And here's the biggest thing about entrepreneurs. We lead, we don't do a lot. So those of you that like the doing of something, you're probably a better employee manager. That doesn't mean you can't work with an entrepreneur and actually be fulfilled and do the thing you love to do. Before I go to the final mistakes of being an entrepreneur manager, I want you to subscribe to our channel. We have so many topics, anything money, anything business, it's all here. It's a family channel, so get your kids involved. A few softwares I want to give you. I want to give you GravyStack. Get your kids on this. So missions and gigs, get them being entrepreneurial, learning. They can have anything they want. They just have to learn to make the money to have it. So while I'm giving you this gift, I want you to come to my Millionaire Intensive. I want you to be there, learn what it means to live corporate life. You can be an employee and a manager. I have a lot of engineers. I have a lot of people who work and run big companies as a job, and they come over here to be an entrepreneur. Why? Because you get to tap the largest tax code in the world and learn to make extra money, an unlimited amount of money. I have people who literally live on their employee income, and all their entrepreneurial income goes to new investments, which makes them a 3 to 5 millionaire faster than just struggling to be an entrepreneur or learning that learning curve. So there's big distinctions between an entrepreneur and a manager. I'm just going to say the classifications in general, it's a big generalization here, but really strict military, engineers, like people who've taken jobs in employment and have really high structure positions, I find, and I've coached thousands of them, they have a harder time jumping over to being this malleable and open problem-solving entrepreneur. They're like rules, they like SOPs, they like a lot more structure. So my input to you would be to come work for one of us. Work for an entrepreneur that starts molding that muscle of being more flexible, seeing the right balls to drop, understand the sequence of what's important today, and most of all, understand a revenue producing day, because no one's going to drive revenue for your company or care about it more than what you're going to have to, because you're the one paying bills at the end of the month. Super fun. So I love it. I'm unemployable. We actually have a cool new merchandise line. So I'm going to put that store link in our description below. Go grab some fun merchandise. You can grab any of my funny sayings, but I'm unemployable is one of them. Do paperwork or be poor. A man is not a plan. I got some really funny sayings, so throw it on a t-shirt and wear it out and about. And if you have any questions at any time, want some coaching or mentoring, either call our office, 775-588-9200, grab a strategy session, or just go over to askloral.com. It's ASKLORAL. Ask a question, make a request. We're here 5 days a week, and I can't wait to teach you more tomorrow.